In the valley shadows deep, where darkness breeds despair, faith ignites a blaze.
Today's story is about Elizabeth,
Hope whispers with gentle hands, lifting souls from the ground.
a woman who patiently trusted God even when her prayers seemed unanswered for many years. Elizabeth is a key figure in the New Testament, and her story is both fascinating and often overlooked. Elizabeth faced one of the biggest struggles a woman could face in her time: infertility. In a society where motherhood was highly valued, Elizabeth's childlessness was a personal struggle and a source of shame and social pressure. She was part of a devout Jewish family, and the inability to have children was seen as a sign of God's disfavor. Despite these challenges, she remained faithful, continued to pray, and trusted in God's plan. Elizabeth was part of a priestly family. Her husband, Zachariah, was a priest as well. They were devoted followers of God. They lived according to God's commandments. Despite their faithfulness, Elizabeth was barren, and she and Zachariah were old, far beyond the years of childbearing. Year after year, they prayed for the blessing. One day, as Zechariah was serving in the temple, Angel Gabriel appeared to him, declaring, "Do not be afraid, Zechariah. Your prayer has been heard. Your wife Elizabeth will bear you a son, and you are to call him John." Zechariah doubted, asking, "How can I be sure of this? I am an old man, and my wife is well along in years." Because of his disbelief, the angel told him he would be unable to speak until the promise was fulfilled. Elizabeth, however, received the news with great joy after her husband wrote down everything in a slate. Despite her advanced age, she believed in God's promise, and soon her joy was made complete. Elizabeth conceived a child, and for 5 months she remained in seclusion, reflecting on God's goodness, saying, "The Lord has done this for me. In these days, He has shown His favor and taken away my disgrace among the people." When Elizabeth's relative Mary, who was also expecting a miraculous child, came to visit, something remarkable happened. As soon as Mary greeted her, the baby in Elizabeth's womb leapt for joy, and Elizabeth was filled with the Holy Spirit. In that moment, Elizabeth recognized the great significance of the child Mary carried, and she exclaimed, "Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the child you will bear." And this was a turning point in Elizabeth's story. It was a moment of confirmation that God was indeed at work. Elizabeth is filled with joy, hope, and a sense of purpose. When it was time for Elizabeth to have her baby, she gave birth to a son, and they named him John the Baptist, who will prepare the way for the Lord. Her neighbors and relatives heard that Lord has shown her great mercy, and they shared in her joy. Elizabeth's pregnancy is not just a personal blessing, it's a sign of larger plan that God has in store. This is a moment of divine intervention, showing us that God is always working behind the scenes, even when we can't see. As we look back on Elizabeth's journey, we see a woman of incredible faith who trusted in God, even when it seemed like He had forgotten her. She remained steadfast. She continued to pray, and she never lost hope. And she never lost her joy. Elizabeth played a crucial role in the story of salvation. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the life of Elizabeth. I hope her story has inspired you to hold on to hope, trust in God's plan, and never give up, even when the road ahead seems uncertain. Have a lovely day now. Bye.
Oh, come on, let's dance. Come on, let's clap. Together we'll rise. Oh.